released a curse. From Shepherdstown.
After the paranormal team wrapped up their investigation last summer, things have certainly died down in Shepherdstown, that's for sure. The problem is, I'm beginning to get all types of strange reports from the neighboring towns.
Chief Rich from the fire department, Charlestown.
I was referred by Martinsburg Police.
Something about paranormal activity? He just disappeared.
It's poltergeist activity in Harper's Ferry.
You know, maybe it's bigger than what I thought.
Well, maybe it's bigger than Shepherdstown.
Last year, we had a very significant spike in unusual emergency calls. I gotta tell you, I've never seen anything like it in my 36 years of police work. I assembled a team of top paranormal investigators to help us solve some of these bizarre cases.
There's somebody here.
Go, follow it. There's a negative presence here.
A lot of folks already believe Shepherdstown is the most haunted town in the country, but now the dark presence is back. And it's spreading. Shepherdstown Police, Chief King.
Hey, Mike, it's Dion. I got something pretty interesting for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's been a significant number of animal carcasses reported out in a farm in Middleway.
Really?
Apparently, a few of the neighbors are starting to speculate that there's some kind of voodoo going on out there.
We're headed to the Browns farm in Middleway. It's about 10 to 15 minutes outside of Shepherdstown. Charlestown PD's been out there a couple of times. It's not just that there's animal carcasses showing up, but the bodies seem to be mutilated.
The neighbors out there actually think that there might be black magic or some sort of thing going on out there. A lot of people confuse voodoo with black magic or Satanism, but it's really not related at all. Plus, cattle mutilations are not typically associated with ghosts or spirits. And if someone is doing, say, an occult ritual, they could very well be conjuring up this dark presence that we've been following from town to town.
All right, guys, this is the spot. Tim and Stacy Brown, the people that own the property here, they're deaf.
Okay.
But their children are here, and they're going to translate for us anything that we need. Victor and Riley.
Okay.
I got it.
Hey, Victor, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, Tim.
Good to meet you.
He's been having problems with the cows dying rapidly. He said there's a heifer dead by the creek, and they said they had no eyes. The eyes are gone, and they're mutilated. And then his chicken's headless.
And it's happened more recently?
A week or two.
Can you take us to where it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a calf.
Yeah.
Look at how the spine is exposed and everything. Another one down here,
There's body parts everywhere.
right here. Oh, wow.
It has no head.
That's fairly new. Look, same thing. Same as the other bird.
I honestly have a lot of mixed emotions being here because, you know, there's baby animals being scattered amongst the property. At the same time, I'm really concerned about this family. This is their livestock, this is their livelihood, and this is happening to them. This is just 2 legs and a head. Where'd the rest of the body go? What would do something like that? What have you guys done so far to try and figure out what is happening?
He's hired a man, a trapper. He's only got 1 coyote.
Even if it was a coyote eating the eyes out, wouldn't kill the animal. Something killed him.
Right, that couldn't have just been some animal. It wouldn't be like that.
If an animal was going to take the eyes out, too, it'd be like bite marks, scratches, chew marks around the eye sockets. And they don't look like there's anything around them at all.
No hair is disturbed around them at all. Nothing like it was
Exactly.
chewed on. Do the cattle typically roam through here?
Yes. He's seen a heifer down by the creek, and that was yesterday.
Dead?
Dead.
Where's that at?
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone?
It's gone.
When you say gone, it wasn't torn up and pulled away. It's just like it just disappeared.
Just disappeared.
What does a heifer weigh?
800 to 1,000 pounds.
Look, Elizabeth, I don't know if you noticed or not, but none of these prints are footprints from people. They're animal prints.
So there isn't any evidence that suggests that people were involved in this, nor your typical predator. So I'm leaning towards it being paranormal. And if it is the dark presence that's committing this animal mutilations, then it's far more powerful and dangerous than we ever thought.
Has anybody seen or heard anything unusual on the property aside from this?
I haven't seen anything, but I've heard what sounds like a woman screaming.
Did it sound like a human woman or more of like a disembodied voice?
More of like a disembodied voice.
And you've heard it multiple times or just one time?
Multiple times.
I mean, looking at all these body parts, I really don't think that this was any kind of witchcraft or anything like that. I feel like if there was animal sacrifice, that it would be more honored. So I really don't know what else could possibly be.
Hello?
Hey, Chief.
Hey, what's happening, Ronnie?
I've been canvassing the area. None of the Browns' neighbors are reporting any suspicious animal deaths. But there is a family down the road that's been experiencing some pretty unusual activity. Last name Watson. I think the team may want to check that out.
So now we've got 2 properties in the area experiencing unusual activity. There's definitely some urgency here to figure out what's going on. These people are dependent on these cattle for their livelihood.
So we're gonna head over to the Watsons and see if we can figure out what's happening on their property and hopefully what's happening on yours at the same time. We actually got a call from in regards to some activity happening.
Yeah, my dad called me and told me you guys were going to stop by.
We just wanted to see if you had a few minutes.
Yeah,
if we
you guys
could
can
get.
come on in.
Awesome.
Great, thanks.
I'm actually surprised you guys came so quick.
Well, we were really right down the street.
Yeah, we were at the Brown family farm.
Okay.
So, what's been going on here?
Just weird stuff. One time my dad got pushed and my dad's got his head slammed off the wall. But I've never seen anybody there.
He just felt like somebody shoved him and
Yeah.
then slammed his head
Yeah.
into the wall.
And you said this all happened recently?
Yeah.
Like within the last week?
Yeah, there's been like a lot of strange stuff going on lately. So like I'm scared to leave my kids here.
That's really worrisome.
One night I was staying here and I put my kids to bed. I was the only one awake in the house. My mom, my dad, everybody was asleep. And the phone kept on ringing.
Hello?
And nobody was there. I sat down, decided to watch some TV, and then my dogs just kept on barking and barking and barking. I looked out the window, trying to figure out what it was. That's when I seen the little girl in the window. Same girl that I seen outside my window, she was inside my TV.
Basically, you saw this girl and she was outside of your house at first.
Well, I seen her outside the window, and then, like, next thing I know, she was in my TV shaking. Like, I seen, like, a spirit almost, I want to say,
Right.
inside my TV.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And how would you describe her?
She was, like, African-American. She was wearing, like, a white dress. Like, almost like like you get baptized.
Okay.
She was wearing, like, one of those.
Does it look old, like
It looks
something?
like older, like an older dress.
Okay, so nothing modern.
No, nothing like this time.
Okay.
It's like back in, like, I want to say, like, the 1800s.
And this was the only time that you saw her?
Yes.
Did that
Did you
just
turn
come
that on?
on? You see this?
Yeah, it's just now on TV.
The TV
TV's
just
on.
turned on by itself.
Basically, you saw this girl and she was outside of your house at first.
Yeah.
And this was the only time that you saw her?
Yes.
Did that
Did you
just
turn
come
that
on? You see this?
Yeah, it's just now on TV.
The TV
TV's on.
just turned on by itself.
Yeah.
Did that just come on? You see this? Yeah, it's just now on TV. The TV just turned on by itself. 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 The TV just turned on by itsel
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's never happened when it just come on like that.
I mean, your remote's by
We have
you.
a remote right here beside me, and I didn't click it.
No, we were talking to you. We would have seen you do that.
I don't know.
There's a couple possibilities that could have made this happen. One, obviously, a remote control could have turned it on, but her remote control was dead. I tried. The other possibility is whatever went into her TV before may have came back and turned it on just to say hi. I don't know. Now, it isn't completely uncommon for spirits to manipulate electronic objects.
No, I mean, a lot of people use ITC in order to try and see spirit images in TVs. When Tammy saw that ghost girl in the television, it was a form of ITC, or instrumental transcommunication, in which she tried to communicate with her. And at this point, you know, there's definitely some form of paranormal activity going on here, and we're really going to need Dana's help to dig up a little more information and history about this property.
I want to show you something. The Watson house. The house itself, that's been there a long time. Goes back to the Civil War times. I can't find any evidence that a black family lived on the property where the Watson farm is. So, from the description of the little girl that was seen, and based on the clothing that was described to you and Bill, sounds like middle 1800s Civil War era.
Right.
So I'm leaning towards the idea of maybe slaves on that property. I got my information from, according to the 1860 census. In 1850, Jefferson County had 4,341 slaves. There were in Middleway 168 slaves.
Okay, so it lists here how many slaves were with each one of the people that lived in Middleway.
Because we don't know the names of the house servants or slaves that we're looking for, it leads nowhere.
If we did, it would probably be really easy to narrow down whether or not it was possible, especially if one of these people lived on that property at that time.
At least that gives me a start. It's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack.
I'm actually going to reach out to Lori and see if she can go over to the Watson farm with me. Hopefully she'll be able to turn into this ghost girl and pick up on maybe a name to help us identify who she is.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a coincidence that two different families in Middleway are experiencing paranormal activity right now?
I'm not sure. Do you think it has any kind of tie to the dark presence we've been dealing with in these cave systems?
Middleway. You know we have a cave right there that we marked from the map last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you know if there's any caves on these farms?
The farm is like 350 to 400 acres large, so I mean, it could be anywhere on that property.
Well, I'm gonna go to that farm and investigate it a little bit further. There's two different farms that are, I think, possibly connected to each other.
Even though the animal mutilations on the Browns farm don't seem to be related to the ghost girl at the Watson house, there's a chance this negative entity we've been tracking through the cave system is what's striking up activity at both locations.
Maybe you should reach out to the trapper who helped the Brown family.
I was just thinking that, yeah. I want to see how close that cave is to where the farms are located.
Tammy is actually going to be leaving for work.
Okay. Elizabeth asked me to come join her at the Watson farm here today. I want to find out what these souls want. Why are they here? Why are they earthbound here? Why are they stuck? Why do they find themselves in purgatory here in this one location?
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, how are you?
Is this Lori Johnson?
Hi. Can you guys just lock up when you guys leave?
Absolutely. Okay. I'm just gonna set up a few things before we start. It's really bizarre. So that was unusual. Because usually if it's calibrating to the space, I mean, it won't do that.
No, you have a visitor. It's a middle-aged female. She's right beside you, honey.
It's really bizarre. So that was unusual. Because usually if it's calibrating to the space, I mean, it won't do that.
No, you have a visitor. She's right beside you, honey.
Who's her?
Middle-aged female, dark eyes.
Okay. Is there somebody here with us? Wow.
There's something else here. This is very weird. I'm getting her energy, but I'm also getting something else. But it keeps drawing me this way.
Like outside?
Yeah.
Since you're being drawn outside, do you want to actually walk out there and see what you pick up on there?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I feel like we're being drawn in all these different directions because Tammy's experience was with this little girl, and now we're talking about a middle-aged woman. Are the two connected? I just don't know.
I'm hearing a lot of yelling and screaming. I'm hearing auntie, and I'm hearing a name. Celsi? Stacy?
So something Celsi.
Celsi?
An S or a C.
Chelsea?
Could it be Chelsea?
Chelsea. Something, it's Celsi. That's all I hear. But she's screaming. And I feel a loss, you know, like a loss of a child or...
Loss of child. Are you by any chance picking up on a girl at all?
No, I'm not. Just the older woman.
I just got to the Browns cattle farm right now. I'm gonna go speak to Gordy, who the family hired as a trapper to try to figure out who or what is mutilating these animals here. How you doing, you Gordy?
Yep.
I'm Nick. Nice to meet you, Gordy. You have some mutilated animals?
Oh, yeah. There's quite a few.
So what can you tell me about that? I mean, is there any, other animals like coyotes or any other animals?
I'm a coyote man, and it don't seem like coyote to me. Generally, coyote or whatever animal's doing it, they're gonna kill the animal and then they're gonna eat it, basically. I mean, they might leave a little bit, but not like these carcasses.
I mean, I really don't know what is going on here with these mutilated cows.
Well, it makes two of us.
Do you know of any cave system in Middleway around here that's close to this farm? I know that there is a cave. I just don't know where it is.
Right up yonder.
How far is it?
About 10 football fields. I can take you right up there if you want.
Yeah, I would love to go in there. Is it really muddy down there?
I mean, there's mud. It's West Virginia, man. And that's a cave.
That's the entrance to the cave right there?
Yep.
That's really small. Have you seen anything weird on this property? Like anything you can't explain that wasn't an animal?
I'm right down there somewhere. It was nighttime, and I see this figure of a woman. Kind of looked like she's lost coming down the hill there. Pulled out my binoculars and looking at her because I was a little bit away. She seemed to be wandering or searching for something. I wasn't quite sure. Hey! She was wearing kind of a plain dress with an apron, and then all of a sudden she disappears down into the hole. What the hell? I ran up the hill after that, and she was just gone. And the cave entrance, it's too tight. There's no way she could have just fell in the cave and been gone that quick.
You actually saw a woman, a solid figure, walk up here, and she just fell?
Yep. And I ran up, and she was gone.
Do you think what you saw was a ghost?
Well, I don't really believe in ghosts, per se, but, I mean, that's the closest thing I ever seen if it was a ghost.
We were basically gassed out of the last cave we were investigating in Martinsburg.
There is some sort of fog coming out from the hole, which I can't explain.
It's gassing us out.
What I want to do is get enough courage up mentally to go down physically and
To try to figure out if there's any signs of this negative entity down there that could link these two cases together.
I guess I'll just lower myself down into it. Could you hold this for me? I feel like something's gonna grab my foot and rip me down. What the hell? Holy crap. Oh my God.
I want to know, where did this ghost girl suddenly disappear into this cave? Is she down here? Is anything down here? Is there anyone down here?
Oh my God, this cave is really deep. It's like a maze down here. What's that on the ground? Are those bones?
Look it, that's a skull.
Are those bones?
That's a skull. So what is this? What animal is this? There's more right here. I'm not getting anything on the EMF, which is 0. The weirdest part about this is I just stumbled upon these bones right here. This just shows me that there is something in this cave that is killing things. There's more back there. There is bones everywhere in this place. And you guys hear that? There was something crawling up. It was like shuffling.
Guys, I don't think we're alone down here.
I'm gonna grab some of these bones.
Get out of here. So gross.
Hey! Coming up right now. Oh my God. It's hard to tell what I heard, but it sounded a lot like the scratching noises that we heard inside the Martinsburg cave right before it drove us out. Found these bones down there. This is as many as I could carry out. It was like a graveyard down there.
It's weird, because animals don't do that. I mean, I can identify that, especially the two skulls, they're dog.
Dog bones, really?
Oh, yeah. But these little bones, I don't know what they are.
Do you think of any natural predator that could be causing this?
Nothing that I've ever come across. I mean, if there's something killing things and dragging them down in that hole, that's really an unusual hunting pattern in this area.
There are a lot of similarities between this case and our previous cases. I mean, we have limestone, we have an opening to a cave on this property, and we have people seeing apparitions all of a sudden. I mean, it definitely points to this negative entity we've been tracking, but what doesn't make sense to me is these mutilated animal carcasses. And I think at this point, we have to try to bring in a specialist to help us figure out if indeed this is paranormal or not.
I found some interesting information pertaining to what Lori found in her psychic discoveries. I got this out of the story of Smithfield, which was the original name for Middleway. And here it tells the story. Back in the 1850s, there was this beloved slave named Susan Richardson, and they called her Aunt Suki. Aunt Suki had a 12-year-old daughter named Daphne. The master of the house decided the family had too many slaves. And he decided he was going to sell off Suki's beloved daughter, Daphne. The master didn't want his family or the other slaves on the farm to know. So he set up an arrangement where Daphne was supposed to go to the well. She was carrying a basket instead of a bucket. This small basket would identify her to the slave trader, who would then shuffle her off farther south.
Mom?
Aunt Suki was just devastated. We don't know what happened to Daphne, but perhaps her spirit went back to the place where she last saw her mother.
This is so crazy because when Lori was doing her psychic sweep, she picked up on the fact that she was probably a mother and she felt like she was searching for something or someone.
That does make sense.
You know, Tammy, with her experience when we were there, she kept mentioning this little girl.
Right.
So, you know, it's almost like Tammy experienced this little girl spirit and Lori was picking up on the mother. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's who we were dealing with. I think at this point, what I really need to do is go back to the Watson house and see if Lori can reunite these two spirits and bring them back together again. What do you think the connection is between the Brown farm and the Watson farm?
Well, it sounds like the woman the trapper saw in the woods may have been the apparition of Aunt Suki, out looking for her daughter, which definitely links the two properties.
No, absolutely.
The ghost of this sad, anguished woman looking for her daughter could be the cause of the screams that Riley heard in the woods.
Right.
I mean, while these properties aren't too far apart, that's now. We don't know how these landlines connected back then. These farms could have very well been part of the same property.
Tonight.
Yeah, it is.
We're setting up for a night hunt to investigate the Browns farm to try to figure out what's been killing these animals and to see if it's paranormal or not.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
Good.
I've asked my friend Ben Hansen to join us tonight because he's not only a former FBI agent, but he's a great paranormal investigator and specializes in cattle mutilation just like this. Tracker was telling me yesterday that there's nothing big enough to take down a full-grown cow.
Who knows what we're dealing with here? But be alert. I mean, if we are dealing with the occult, if we're dealing with people who are maliciously, you know, killing their animals out here, be aware of that.
And my background is primarily law enforcement, criminal investigations. But for some people refer to me as a paranormal tracker because I use a lot of technology to see if we can find out where these things are coming from.
Let's get going right now.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. The Browns farm is hundreds of acres, so we're gonna split up. Ben and I are gonna be using the thermal imaging drone over the woods, and Bill is gonna be at the entrance of the cave using the infrared cameras.
So 50 yards from the cave is this local deer stand. This is where hunters use to stalk their prey, and tonight this is where I'm gonna be here to stalk whatever is attacking these animals.
I think this is a great place where we could put up the thermal drone.
Thermal cameras pick up on heat and cold signatures, so if something warm shows up on camera, like a coyote, then it will show up as red and orange. And if something cold shows up, possibly maybe paranormal, then it could show up as blue or even black.
If there's nothing in there, then we know that it's safe for us to go in. Anything that could tear apart a huge cow, there's not anything I want to meet by surprise. Here we go.
It's really strange out here. I feel like the energy has changed closer to these woods. All the animals on the farm have become quiet, and it's definitely very different now than what it was like when the sun was up. It's almost like the animals know something we don't.
Let's come back this way. Let's take a look. There's a person.
Where? We're the only ones out here. Wait, it's moving. What is that?
No, that's a cow.
Oh, that must be the head of the cow.
You think?
Yeah, that's like the body of the cow right there. See?
Yep, it is. Oh. What's that?
Can you go over to that area? There's something running.
Something's running?
Yeah, did you guys hear that? I swear to God, there was something like charging this way. What the hell was that?
Something's running?
Yeah, did you guys hear that? I swear to God, there was something like charging this way.
What the hell was that? What's that? It's a herd of cows. Cows are going crazy. Something must be spooking them. What we're looking for is anything that moves. Do you see anything? No. I think the coast is clear. I think we should land this and bring it back, and let's head in the tree line. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm sure am glad y'all are here.
Yeah, thank you.
Come right on in.
Thank you. So because the spirits here are haunting both Tammy and her dad, Lori wants to do a spiritual intervention with the entire family. And hopefully she's able to reunite both Aunt Sookie and Daphne and bring peace to the entire home.
I appreciate you guys being here, for me being able to cleanse and clear your home.
Well, we appreciate you coming a lot to let us,
Yeah, a lot of things we need to know that you're clearing up.
I brought Lori to your home to do a psychic sweep, and she was picking up on this middle-aged African-American slave woman by the name of Sookie, who actually had a daughter named Daphne, who we believe is the little girl spirit that you had experienced. And it turns out that the daughter Daphne was actually sold out from under her. And Sookie, she was in a lot of pain and sorrow, just agony in general.
She's very angry, still at men. She's not evil, and she's not a bad person, but she's very angry. To her, you're the man that took her child from her.
Wow.
The reason why her spirit still resides here on the property is because she's constantly searching for her little girl.
I have cold chills really bad right now.
Yeah, me too. It's going all the way through my body.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Here's one calf. There's one here, one there. It smells disgusting in here too, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. From what you're telling me, no one's really examined this animal in detail.
Not that I know.
Okay. You sure don't want to get in on this?
I'll hold the flashlight. This is disgusting.
As you might know, in the 1970s, cattle mutilations, animal mutilations got so serious, even the FBI got involved. And they did reports on this and found several patterns. The most anomalous cases tend to follow a similar thing where we're looking at missing eyes, tongue, soft tissue, and sometimes it was only like one side of like an ear was taken off, sometimes the left, with surgical precision. But I'm not seeing any of that here. Now this is interesting. Now look at this. Predators typically will go for the soft tissue first. So it's not too unusual that it's missing its eyes, especially birds are gonna come out and peck those things out first because it's easy. Now, what explains the head's missing? That's different. I'd like to go a little bit deeper in here if we could.
Yeah, let's search.
Let me grab my camera.
I think it's cold in here.
Oh, it's freezing in here, yeah.
I'm freezing.
We have company.
Really?
I just have a real emotional feeling right now. Real.
I'm gonna set up some equipment just to kind of validate what we're all feeling. It's igniting. Does that happen in your house a lot?
No, it's never happened.
Never.
Is there something you'd like to say?
The hell? You see that, Ben? Yeah.
Is there something here with us? Look at this. It's almost like it's leading us somewhere.
Daphne, are you here with us? Sookie, are you here? Oh, did you see that?
What's that noise about?
That light will only go on
They're
if
here.
there's something here with us.
They're here.
awful loud.
In order for that to happen, it has to be like this close.
So somebody's really close to it
Yeah,
right
someone's really, I mean, it's still going off.
Well, you have the mother and she has the child, but even though you're that close, they still don't see each other.
now. My stomach's in a knot right now.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Ooh. Are you okay?
You all right, baby?
My stomach's in a knot right now.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Ooh. Are you okay?
You all right, baby?
The mother and the daughter are coming together, is what's going on. This is a good thing. Let me hold your hand, baby. We're gonna bring the mother and the daughter together. With you, because you're so close to the older woman, let her know that her daughter's right beside her, because she is trusting you.
Me?
He is right beside of me. I promise you that. Who do I ever promise you that one?
Just let her know that it's okay to go ahead and find your daughter. She's right there.
It's safe. Just come through and find her, please. Just find her. She's right here beside of me.
My stomach's in a knot.
Come together. Hold each other's hands. I free you to the light.
Did you just see that?
Yeah.
It just completely like went out.
It's going off. The farther I move up this hill, it's starting to alarm, Ben. Are we getting closer to you? Oh, there's something moving over here. I can hear it. Up over here, Ben. Bill, is that you?
Nick?
You all right, man?
And yeah.
Holy the meter led us right back to the cave. Suddenly it just stopped.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's completely dead now. Do you think this could have been the negative entity?
It's possible, but I'm definitely not going down there at night right now. I mean, something is definitely killing these animals, and honestly, I don't want to be next. You didn't see anything on the IR camera?
Nothing. It's been zero all night. I think we should wrap it up for tonight.
Okay. I honestly don't know what triggered the Mel meter, but it's the only thing that actually points to something paranormal, and it's officially 1:43 a.m. right now, so we're gonna pack up all our gear and get out of here.
It's quiet now, huh? It's still.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that lady looking at you, Marty. She realizes you're not that man that took her daughter.
Wow.
I think she's at peace now. Your bond, I think it helped the mother and the daughter find each other.
That's good.
They've gone to the light.
I like to see them be reunited.
Reunited and
set free.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I can bring my kids back here and they can stay again with my mom and my dad.
God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
When we actually left the Watson house, the family itself, they seemed like they were in a really good place.
I talked to the Browns, too, and they haven't had any new animal carcasses show up either. However, I actually did talk to the trapper, and he has trapped a couple rabid coyotes.
Rabies, really? That's interesting.
But, you know, it still doesn't explain the pattern in which we found these mutilated animals. They were all in one area. It's not typical for some coyote or anything like that to actually do.
Well, you said typical coyote, and I don't think we're talking a typical coyote. We're talking about an animal that's been infected with rabies. So they do strange things. They kill and they don't eat. And it wouldn't be uncommon for an animal to hunt in the same general area, particularly if it's sick. It's not going to travel too far.
I'm a little confused, though, about the cow that they found, you know.
That's
that
what I was
one
thinking about,
day,
too.
It went completely missing the next morning when they went to go actually remove it.
That's a large animal. I can't answer that one. I don't think a coyote's capable of dragging anything like that off. I mean, that's just almost impossible.
But what about all the bones that you found down in that cave?
Well, I think we found an explanation for that, too. Dana dug up some more information on that cave I went into. I have actually a map. It's actually called Dead Dog. The cave is called Dead Dog.
No kidding.
Trappers used to actually kill wild dogs in that area, and they used to throw all the remains into these caves. So that's debunked.
Let me ask you something. When did you stop registering those anomalies on your meter?
I guess somewhere around 2 in the morning.
I think we officially ended at 1:43 a.m. I mean, that's what time I clocked to the camera.
Well, my particle box actually stopped getting hits around 1:38 a.m. And that's only 5 minutes apart from when you guys stopped getting hits on your equipment.
You can't totally rule out coincidence, though.
Yeah, but we probably talked for about 5 minutes near the cave opening before we actually wrapped our hunt that night. I think our equipment may have stopped firing at the exact same time.
That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me.
You know, well, we're definitely noticing a pattern with this dark presence. I mean, it seems to disappear every time we release these spirits from these locations.
And vice versa. I mean, we weren't even on the same property, and they disappeared right at the same time. So I don't think that it's even theory anymore at this point. I think that the dark entity is absolutely connected somehow to these spirits. I don't think this negative entity is actually feeding off the energy of these other spirits. I think that it's actually waking them up in these other towns. And the question we have right now is why?
And you know what? Every time we put a spirit to rest, this dark entity goes back underground and pops up in some other town.
Which is pretty much what it did last night. I mean, it just went right back down into the caves.
Any idea where this thing's gonna pop up next?
We haven't been able to get ahead of it yet.
This negative has to know we're trying to get rid of it. It's almost like we're playing this giant game of chess with this thing, and it's always one move ahead of us.
The only thing I can tell you is whatever's going on here, we're far from finished figuring out what it is.